The precise moment Dena Smagala's heart was shattered is recorded in the history books. At 9:59 a.m. on September 11, 2001, her firefighter husband, Stanley Smagala Jr., 36, was climbing up a staircase of the World Trade Center's South Tower when the 110-story skyscraper crumpled to the ground in a surge of burning concrete, glass, and steel. In the blink of an eye, the collapse took Stanley's life, along with the lives of more than 800 others.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
Dena felt lucky to experience true love once. It took her nearly 20 years to find it again. Dena told the messenger, "My heart is and will always be broken, but Joe made it capable of loving again." Joe is Joe Carreno, 59, an auto finance executive and father of two. Today, on the anniversary of the attacks, Dena will remember Stanley, who served out of Brooklyn's Engine 226 at a beach memorial near her Long Island home. But when the bell tolls 9:59 a.m. in remembrance of the South Tower's collapse, Joe, who she married last year, will be there to help Dena through the painful memories of her darkest day. Dena was pregnant with her first child when Stanley and 2,996 other innocent victims and heroes were killed in the horrific terrorist attacks in New York City, Arlington, Virginia, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Alexis Smagala was born 4 months later and grew up never knowing, but always missing, her hero dad. "Looking back, I just want to give little Alexa a hug. Tell her it's going to be okay," said Alexa, now 21. Joe will come in one day and be that father figure I was always missing for her. The seeds of Dena Smagala's romance with Joe were planted in 2019 when she was out shopping at Target. An acquaintance called, wanting to set her up on a blind date. "I was like, oh God, I don't want to do this," Dena recalled. And she's like, "You know, the last person I set up, they got married." Joe, who was at the time 4 years removed from divorce, was also hesitant when a friend told him about Dena. He put off reaching out for about 4 months until he finally took her phone number and gave her a call. When he got her voicemail, he left a lengthy message. That alone impressed Dena. Who calls anymore? She was at Disney World with her family when the message pinged her cell phone. A little embarrassed to call him back in front of her family, Smagala texted Carreno instead. Still, she felt a sliver of optimism and threw a penny into the theme park's wishing well. "I was like, hopefully it works out with this guy," she said. On the plane home to New York, Dena spent 3 hours texting with Joe. The spark was immediate, and the pair exchanged a flurry of messages. Days later, they finally spoke on the phone. The call lasted 3 hours and 7 minutes. Joe asked if he could finally meet her in person to put a face to the voice. But Dena kept blowing it off, telling him she was too busy, that she wouldn't leave her daughters to go on a date. "I had written everybody off," she said. "I felt like I'm okay raising 2 kids and just being a stay-at-home mom. I did it for 18 years and I didn't need anybody." Finally, with encouragement from her friends, Dena cracked about a month later. She agreed to meet Joe at his condo. She showed up in baggy sweatpants and a sweatshirt, carrying a bottle of pre-made margaritas and plenty of apprehension. For 4 hours, the conversation flowed as easily as it had by text and over the phone. "I really felt like we knew each other," said Joe. "We had a lot to talk about." Weeks passed and the 9/11 anniversary came around. Dena and Joe met at her home with Alexa that day. "My mom had the biggest smile on her face, and I knew he was making her happy," said Alexa, now a senior at the University of Central Florida. "I had never really seen her that happy with a man before," she said. "I just had the feeling that it was going to work out." In 2022, 3 years after their first texts, Dena and Joe were married at the beachfront Coconut Palm Inn on Florida's Key Largo in front of 32 close family and friends. Stanley Smagala's family has welcomed Joe, regaling him with the stories of the life of the firefighter, whose last act was racing from Engine 226 in Boerum Hill and storming up 78 flights of stairs to rescue as many people as he could from the burning World Trade Center. Once not the type to believe in guardian angels, Dena now thinks Stanley had a hand in bringing her and Joe together.